Ellie, you are a guest of honor.
Aw.
We brought you back specifically for this episode because we know what a big fan you are of this film. Tell us, is this movie any good?
Are you kidding me? I don't think I can ever stop. Like every time I watch this movie, and I have a habit of watching movies that I like over and over, like The Notebook, for example.
Mhm.
Indiana Jones not only is one of those favorite movies that I love, it's the fact that Harrison Ford. I've always been or had a crush on him since like the first time I seen him, like back in the 80s. And it's funny enough, back in the 80s, I didn't understand the movie because I didn't speak English a lot. I didn't understand a lot
Mhm.
of the concept. I didn't even know what it was. The whole thing was about. I didn't know about the Nazi. I was very. I watched for the action and for the
Mhm.
good-looking man in it because back then he was always I mean, older than me, but hey, I thought he was hot. And I don't know, guys, but there's a thing about men on horses that I find extremely hot. Okay, it gets to me. I'll watch the movie
Sure.
just to see him on that horse over
Sure.
and over again. But I love Indiana Jones. I love everything from the comedy. You know, you forget that it's not just action, but there's comedic timing in this movie that is so cool, and it just I laugh always. Like every time
Mhm.
I watch this movie, I'm always laughing. The people's faces when they get scared or they get killed, it's like truthfully that is not how you die, but the fact that they made this dramatic face and you're like, what the heck? Really? Okay. And then Spielberg, I don't like spiders to the very first beginning.
Mm.
I'm like, I don't like snakes either, but but I take snakes over spiders anytime. Uh,
Mhm.
but then I'll take neither. So,
Mhm.
but the fact that the
Yeah.
whole idea of the arc, you know, as humans, we always try to, right? Like at the beginning, you know, Nathan gave us the option to give the ark to the museum or not open the
Mhm.
box. But as humans, we're gonna be curious and we're gonna want to open it. We want to know what's inside, and that's gonna kill us eventually because we don't pay attention. But I love the whole concept of the film, and the Nazis being the evil people that they were, back in the day, and to see them being obliterated, it's actually a good feeling. I'm
Mhm.
sorry, I'm not like I have a human side to me, but I have no sympathy for Nazi and anyone who tries to obliterate another race because just because. And so I love that Spielberg, and obviously for all the obvious reasons, he created this film and did just that. So I truly enjoyed this film. I love Harrison. I love the whole concept of the Indiana Jones series. I've watched them all, and even the last one. When was it? Last year?
Yeah,
Last
last
year, yeah.
summer. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I went to the movies and I saw it, and I liked how they tied it together and brought the girlfriend, the wife back, right?
Mhm.
Because I've seen other shows where they don't bring the people back, and so it's
Mhm.
kind of like sad that they don't do that. So I don't know. It's a good feel movie for me. Just really
Mhm.
fun to watch. It's entertaining. It's entertaining. You're rooting for Indiana. He's hot. He's just, he after fighting, it makes me want to be Indiana Jones. Like I could, in
Yes.
my head, I could close my eyes to see myself being Indiana Jones.
Mm.
By the way,
Yes.
my dad became Indiana Jones for a Halloween. This is where we got the hat that you saw earlier. He
Nice.
had the whip, he had everything. So I was like, yes, my dad is Indiana
Yes.
Jones. And in reality, I think of my dad as an Indiana Jones kind of guy because he fixes everything that's broken. He really does. He's very mechanic. He's a mechanic like by trade since he was like 11 years old. There is nothing my dad cannot do to fix. He'll fix it. I just know he'll fix it. And so Indiana Jones is kind of like that way. He'll fix everything. He'll figure out a way to get out of any situation. And that's my dad. So my dad is actually Indiana Jones. So I live with Indiana Jones.
I love that.
That's awesome.
All right, Ellie. So I got to ask, if you had to give it a rating from 1 to 5.
Let me see.
Mm,
10? No,
10.
okay, 5.